Did you ever notice how the brightest spotlight can cast the darkest shadow? Throughout modern history, the magnetism of fame has drawn millions of admirers. But in the rarest, most chilling cases, adoration mutates into something far more dangerous. So settle in, stay respectful, and join me for a chronological journey from Beatlemania's twilight in 1980 to a heartbreaking night in 2016. These are the lives of John Lennon, Rebecca Schaeffer, Selena Quintanilla, Dimebag, Daryl Abbott, and Christina Grimmie, five luminous talents extinguished by their own fans. Number 1. John Lennon, New York City, 1980. On a crisp December evening, John Lennon and Yoko Ono stepped out of a limousine and headed toward the arched entrance of the Dakota. It was 10:50 p.m., and Lennon, fresh from a recording session, cradled a cassette of new music in his coat pocket. Earlier that same afternoon, he'd autographed a copy of Double Fantasy for a soft-spoken stranger named Mark David Chapman. The encounter was cordial, even casual. A photo shows Chapman gazing at the Beatle with what looks like awe. 6 hours later, awe calcified into violence. Chapman emerged from the shadows, raised a .38 caliber revolver, and fired 5 shots. 4 found their mark. Lennon staggered, whispering, "I'm shot," before collapsing inside the lobby. He was pronounced dead at Roosevelt Hospital minutes after 11 p.m., aged 40. Chapman did not flee. Instead, he opened the catcher in the rye and waited for police. Inside the book he had written, "This is my statement." Investigators later learned that the one-time Beatles superfan had grown furious over Lennon's 1966 remark that the band was more popular than Jesus and had become obsessed with the idea of erasing a phony. The murder sent shock waves through music, politics, and pop culture. Candlelight vigils filled Central Park. World leaders condemned the attack. Millions questioned how a single fan's resentment could silence a global voice for peace. Chapman remains incarcerated, repeatedly denied parole, while strawberry fields in New York and a bronze statue in Liverpool keep Lennon's legacy alive. Number 2. Rebecca Schaeffer, Los Angeles, 1989. Fast-rising actress Rebecca Schaeffer embodied the late 80s girl next door. After modeling gigs in Japan and a breakout role on the CBS sitcom My Sister Sam, she seemed destined for cinematic stardom. Among her viewers was Robert John Bardo, an unstable young man in Tucson who had already fixated on several female celebrities. Bardo wrote Rebecca dozens of letters, one of which drew a polite postcard in return. He misconstrued that courtesy as a personal bond. When Rebecca appeared in a dark comedy featuring a brief bedroom scene, Bardo felt betrayed. In a time before strong privacy laws, he paid a private investigator $250 to obtain her home address from California DMV records. Armed with a .357 caliber revolver, he flew to Los Angeles on July 18, 1989. Bardo rang her front doorbell at 8:30 a.m. and showed the postcard as proof of their friendship. Rebecca chatted kindly, but asked him not to return. 2 hours later he did, pressing the buzzer a second time. When she opened the door, Bardo drew his gun and fired a single shot into her chest. "Why?" she gasped before collapsing. Doctors at Cedars-Sinai could not revive her. She was 21. Public grief erupted, but so did action. California enacted the nation's first anti-stalking statute, and in 1994, Congress passed the Driver's Privacy Protection Act, sealing DMV data from strangers. The LAPD formed a threat management unit that still protects public figures today. Rebecca's career had lasted barely 3 years, yet the legal safeguards born of her death continue to shield countless others. Number 3. Selena Quintanilla, Corpus Christi, 1995. To millions in the 1990s, Selena Quintanilla Perez represented possibility itself. A bilingual superstar who dominated Tejano charts, designed her own fashion line, and prepared a groundbreaking English crossover album. Her most devoted follower, Yolanda Saldivar, initially appeared harmless, a middle-aged nurse who founded the official fan club and later managed Selena's boutiques. Yolanda's diligence won her backstage passes, family dinners, and intimate trust. Behind the pleasant smile, however, finances were unraveling. Audits uncovered more than $30,000 missing from membership dues and boutique sales. Abraham Quintanilla confronted Saldivar on March 9, 1995, firing her. Selena, ever compassionate, agreed to meet Yolanda weeks later at a Days Inn to recover vital tax paperwork. On the morning of March 31st, tensions flared. As Selena turned to leave the room, Saldivar drew a .38 caliber revolver and fired once. The bullet severed an artery near Selena's shoulder. Bleeding heavily, the 23-year-old singer sprinted nearly 400 feet to the lobby, naming her assailant before collapsing. Surgeons battled for nearly an hour, but she was pronounced dead at 1:05 p.m. News anchors likened the shock to Lennon's assassination. More than 60,000 fans filed past her casket in a single day, and President Clinton issued a statement in both English and Spanish. Yolanda surrendered after a 9-hour standoff and now serves life in prison. Selena's posthumous album, Dreaming of You, debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, a first for any Latin artist, while the 1997 biopic Selena introduced her story to a global audience. Her glittering legacy continues to inspire young musicians and to caution management teams about the dangers of unchecked access. Number 4. Dimebag. Daryl Abbott, Columbus, 2004. Heavy metal guitar virtuoso Daryl "Dimebag" Abbott rose to fame with Pantera, then launched Damageplan alongside his brother, Vinnie Paul. On December 8, 2004, eerily the same date as Lennon's death 24 years earlier, Damageplan began its set at the Alrosa Villa nightclub in Columbus, Ohio. Moments into the opening song, 25-year-old former Marine Nathan Gale vaulted the stage barrier, shouting accusations that Pantera had stolen his lyrics. Gale fired a semi-automatic pistol at point-blank range, striking Dimebag multiple times in the head, before turning the weapon on security staff and audience members. In just 3 minutes, 5 people lay dead, including the guitarist, a guard, a club employee, and a fan who tried to help. Officer James Niggemeyer reached the stage through a backstage door and neutralized the gunman with a single shotgun blast, ending the rampage. Investigators later revealed that Gale had exhibited paranoid delusions and spoken obsessively about Pantera months earlier. The metal community mourned with benefit concerts and tribute albums. Guitarists from Ozzy Osbourne to Zakk Wylde cited Dimebag's influence. His unorthodox riffs and exuberant stage presence became legend, while Alrosa Villa tightened security and concert promoters nationwide reevaluated emergency protocols. Today, December 8th is remembered not only for a Beatles' fall, but also for the devastating loss of one of metal's most beloved innovators. Number 5. Christina Grimmie, Orlando, 2016. When Christina Grimmie uploaded her first bedroom cover song to YouTube at age 15, she charmed millions with raw vocals and gamer next-door warmth. By 2014, she'd placed third on The Voice, amassed millions of followers, and launched a national tour. Her openness to fans was genuine and tragically vulnerable. Kevin James Loibl, a 27-year-old retail worker from St. Petersburg, Florida, developed an intense parasocial fixation, telling coworkers he and Christina were secretly connected. In June 2016, he underwent LASIK surgery, dental work, and hair treatments to look good for her, then traveled to Orlando armed with 2 handguns, extra magazines, and a hunting knife. On June 10th, after a concert at Plaza Live, Christina greeted fans beside a merchandise table. Witnesses recall her opening her arms to offer Loable a hug. Instead, he drew a Glock pistol and fired 3 times. Christina's brother Marcus tackled the assailant, but Loable broke free, retreated against a wall, and fatally turned the gun on himself. Grimmie was rushed to Orlando Regional Medical Center, where she died less than an hour later, aged 22. Her killing, just one night before the Pulse nightclub tragedy, ignited debates about venue security and firearm access. Major arenas added metal detectors and bag checks. Billboard published an open letter to lawmakers urging universal background checks. The Christina Grimmie Foundation now supports families affected by gun violence and breast cancer, honoring her generosity. Adam Levine covered funeral costs. Selena Gomez wept on stage. Fans worldwide lit candles beneath the hashtag #Team Grimmie. Christina's posthumous EP Side B and album All Is Vanity preserve the voice that first rang through a webcam, reminding us why she invited those hugs in the first place. Number 6. Teresa Saldana. Actress Teresa Saldana was attacked outside her West Hollywood home by Scottish drifter Arthur Richard Jackson, who had secured her address by impersonating a film crew assistant. Jackson stabbed her 10 times with a hunting knife. A passing delivery driver tackled him, saving her life. Saldana spent 4 months in the hospital and later founded Victims for Victims, lobbying for the very anti-stalking laws that protected future stars. Number 7. George Harrison, former Beatle. George Harrison and wife Olivia awoke before dawn on December 30th, 1999, to find 33-year-old Michael Abram, a fan who believed the Beatles were witches, inside their Friar Park mansion. Abram stabbed Harrison multiple times, puncturing a lung, before Olivia subdued him with a fireplace poker. Harrison recovered. Abram was committed to a secure hospital. The assault pushed many legacy musicians to upgrade residential security. Number 8. Joss Stone. Devon neighbors grew suspicious when a beaten-up Fiat Punto cruised past singer Joss Stone's cottage. Inside were Kevin Liverpool and Junior Bradshaw, 2 men carrying swords, hammers, and a note outlining plans to rob, behead, and dump the Grammy winner in a river. Police intercepted them a mile from Stone's gate. Both were later convicted of conspiracy to murder and jailed for life and 18 years, respectively. British security firms now cite the case when advising artists in rural homes.